I'm just having fun now at this point. It's not even about the video, folks. It's about me having fun, enjoying things. Oh, look, off-road. Everybody, what's going on? Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe and do all that good stuff. And if you feel like joining my membership program, I encourage you to do so. I make a lot of helpful content for a lot of people. I realize we've kind of taken a little bit of a break from motorcycle content. Took a bit of a hiatus on this channel for a minute just because I've been dealing with a lot of legal stuff, and I will fill you guys in on all that when I have a little bit more information. I'm still waiting for the police reports and the dash cam footage and all that stuff, so we'll get back to that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this 250. Obviously I made it look like a Honda because technically the engine is a CG 250, but it's actually 229 cc's. It's a little bit smaller bore than an actual CRF 250L. But that being said, you can get the actual displacement up to 250 if you want, just by slapping a new head on it. We're actually probably going to do that here in the near future, so be looking for that video. But I wanted to talk about my time with this. I've put over 1,500 miles on it now, and I've ridden it up through towns and cities and highway and everything, and I'm actually having a blast on this. It's got a fair amount of power, even with 2-up riding. This thing is great. The suspension is phenomenal. I can hit big bumps and everything, and I barely feel it on this RPS Hawk 250. And I'm really glad I didn't purchase the DLX, the fuel injected version of this, and I'll tell you why. Because the mods are so minimal for the 250 version of this. They just don't have too many mods for the fuel injected version, you know, and it sucks because the fuel injected one I think would actually be more efficient and better than this one if you could modify it with like a bigger head on it and things like that. But no, as of right now, the most modifiable version of this bike is the carbureted version, which is what I bought, and I bought it for that reason, because there's just hundreds of mods that you can do to this thing to make it awesome. The parts are super duper cheap. This is a super easy engine to work on. Like, there's really just not much to this bike at all, and that's what makes it kind of awesome. It can be super reliable. I've actually seen some videos of people that have 30,000 miles on theirs now, and they've done basic maintenance and, you know, just every once in a while tighten nuts and bolts and screws and things like that. But, you know, and new chains every 6,000, 7,000 miles, you know, you pop a new chain on there. Heck, the chains only cost $40. You know, it takes less than a quart of oil. Like, this thing takes 3/4 of a quart of oil, just about a full quart, and it runs great. Like, it's just, it doesn't have any problems picking up the speed, getting with traffic, taking off. Like, it's just a nice in-town cruiser, but also has the ability for trail riding and on-road, off-road stuff. I'm really mad at myself for never owning a dual sport up to this point. I had an Enduro when I was a lot younger, but you know, I never actually bought one when I got to Florida, and I'm mad at myself for not doing that now, because now that I own one, I don't know if I want to go back to a regular motorcycle. I just don't know, you know. I just not sure I can convince myself that I want to go back to a regular bike. The dual sport just offers me so much, you know. It's just such a great little powerhouse. It really is. I mean, I just rip around my city on this thing and just have a blast, you know? It's such a phenomenal little machine. If you guys were thinking about getting one of these, just know that you're gonna have to tinker. Like, there's gonna be a lot of tinkering that needs to happen. Let's see if this Temple Terrace officer tags me here. I don't feel like I'm ripping past him, but maybe I am. I don't know. He's busy doing something. Anyways, you know, these are just great all-around machines. Heck, I even ripped this on the beach at the last place that we were at, and it did wonderful in the sand, even with basic trail tires on it. It still did just great. It's a great grocery getter. The only mod that I would say you should probably make right out the hole is putting an oil cooler on this. This version does not have it, and my summertime is coming up, so I'm probably gonna get one for the summertime. But yeah, other than that, I have no complaints. It shifts smooth. It's got 5 gears. It goes 70 miles an hour. Even in stock format, it'll still go 70 miles an hour. You know, as you can see, I'm no problem 50 miles an hour on the road with the rest of traffic without issue. Even with my girlfriend on the back, as long as I pull the revs up nice and high, it has no issues. It really doesn't. It's just a phenomenal little machine. What's up? It's always fun when you can see yourself in a mirror or a window. But yeah, I mean, heck, most of the time I just stick to the back roads on this thing just because it's nice. I don't feel like I need to go out on main traffic, and normally I would avoid the back roads because all these bumps and stuff, but this just hits them and rides right over the top of them without issue. This thing's great for the back roads, man. The suspension on it is so amazing that I just don't care about riding on the back roads and the bumps. It just kind of hits them and takes it, and you know, it's just great. What are you doing, buddy? There's not even a turn off there. That's an interesting maneuver. I don't know if I would have done that. So, my overall consensus, it's a very lightweight beast of a machine. For only 229 cc's, just under 250, it does wonderful. And it's only like a 15 horsepower bike, you know, but it still has no problems. Are you going straight? What are we doing here? There you go. Yeah, that's right, I'm going. My turn, yeah. She wanted to go so bad, she was going to try to cut me off. Well, I'm going right up here to this store. I'm already here. I didn't expect to get here so fast, but bike life. I haven't tried to do any wheelies or anything on this yet, and I don't think I'm going to. I don't know if I trust the front forks to do wheelies. Not at my size and weight. I don't think that would be... Oops, too high in the gear. Let's drop it back to second gear. There we go. I don't feel like at my size and weight it would be good for me to do that. What's up? Somebody honked me. So, it's a Honda Cologne engine. It's a CG250 Cologne engine with a slightly smaller bore. But you can put an actual CG250 head on this and make it a complete 250 if you want to. But still, they brand it and sell it as a 250, which is kind of confusing to me, but whatever. What do I know, right? I'm just a purchaser. I don't know. I'm just a purchaser. I don't know these things. And it's so tiny, you can just swing in a nice little parking spots like this. I'm going to back it up, put my wheel lock on. I want you to have a look at this thing, because I've heavily modified it. Like, it is the heavily modified bike. It's got a lot of modifications. So, let me lock this down. I just want you guys to see it. I'm going to put this on like that. And new chain, whole bunch of new stuff. I've got basically an entire, and the seat cover, that was a big one, but I just want to let anybody know that's buying these seat covers, because they're all over eBay, right? I sell the seat covers for like $20, but these are not fitted like they express that they are. These were designed to just be pulled on, and like, that's it. Just kind of shoved on there, no staples or anything. However, I found that they don't fit very well, so I ended up having to actually pull it really, really tight, and it took about 35 minutes to get the seat cover on there, and I stapled it, because if I didn't, it just kept peeling up the sides, and it didn't make any sense. But now that I've stapled it and done everything, it looks great. It's well fitting. You just know that if you're buying these seat covers, they brand them as instant covers that you just pull on. They're not. They require forming, and they require a lot of aggressive pulling and tightening in certain areas, and so I don't know why they're saying that, but they're not quite accurate. That came from eBay. The CRF stickers came from Amazon. So did the Pro Circuit KYB suspension stickers, the PZRs or the handle grips. I didn't want Pro Taper. I wanted something that had a fair amount of grip, no pillow grip. These came from AliExpress, I want to say. The mirrors were also AliExpress. They're red and black, a little bit of flame work. I haven't changed these out. I want to at some point. I just painted them red to give them a little definition. The Renthal also came from AliExpress. So did my gas cap breather, which everybody, if you're missing yours, you need one of these. This is specifically meant to keep water, dirt fragments, and rain elements out while still allowing it to breathe. It has a one-way valve, so it can always pull oxygen in as the tank uses it. And then of course this was another purchase I feel like everybody should have, is a GPS phone mount. This one is expandable, and then you push the button and it tightens around your phone, and it's great for every phone and all phones, and it works really good. And yeah, that's not enough. I can't say enough about that. And then of course your throttle assist. I feel like everybody should have a throttle assist. If you've ever ridden a real motorcycle, throttle assist is your best friend. This takes a lot of the need to keep your wrist rolled at all times just by resting your hand on there. The throttle assist helps, because as soon as you can literally just kind of lay your arm on it and it pulls the throttle back, as opposed to having to hold this the whole time. You can lay your wrist on it and it'll hold and maintain the throttle just by so basically you're creating a lazy version of your arm without the need to pinch this, and that really makes long rides very, very nice. Every single bike I ever get has this. Other than that, no heavy mods yet. I haven't gotten started yet. I am about to put an entirely new clutch package in here, and what else was I gonna do? Put new clutch plates in there. I wanted to upgrade the springs, but I think I'm gonna wait because they feel good in traffic right now, and I want to see if my hand's gonna wear out when I get stuck in traffic. But other than that, yeah, all this stuff, all AliExpress, eBay, or Amazon. That's where I got all this stuff that I put on there to make it, you know, look nice. I made it look nice. It needed to look somewhat nicer. It was all black and it just didn't, I don't know, didn't fit very well. So there's that. But yeah, let me pop my lock on here, because we're in a pretty rough area and things end up missing really quickly around here if you don't lock them. So that has an alarm on it, and it'll keep the wheel from, it'll keep it from being able to be pushed away and rolled. So yep, let me run in the store, get my stuff. This is the 2021 RPS Hawk 250 carbureted. I don't believe this is the counterbalanced version, which would be fun to try to test out. It does have trail tires on it, which are brand new, and they work great. So far I've had them in dirt, road, and rain, and they just function really, really well, so no issues there. And that's, I can't say enough good stuff. These are great little bikes. For being Chinese, these are great little bikes. Phenomenal. They rip around, no issues. Sweet little bikes. So if you've been thinking about getting one, get one. If you have any questions, comment below. Let me know. Don't forget, maybe consider joining my membership program. If you want to donate a cup of coffee to the channel, I have ways to do that in the description. And hopefully we catch you guys in the next one. So, toodles.